I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and to the point. I think a lot about, when I take my positions, progressivism and legacy, but not only that, just how things will be looked at when I'm gone, or in 10 years or 20 years, which, there's nothing to say that I'll even be around for that period of time. But those have to do, those time periods have to do a lot with what I believe in or how I view the world. I view the world as this changing place that has become more acceptable of things as time has passed. There's been progress. I'll concede that. However, there are still things that need to be improved. And when you have people who tell women they can't have the right to use their bodies, or they can't have the right to abort children they don't want, or they believe they shouldn't have to take care of and would rather it dead, or not have it, period, or not keep it, one of those things. When you have people who are in favor of capital punishment and decide that they can play the role of who gets to live and die, when you have people who are in favor of traditional marriage, even though same-sex marriage does not undermine that concept whatsoever, I oppose those types of views. I don't understand. Well, I always try to imagine the other person's perspective. I've mentioned it before. I can understand supporting the death penalty. I can understand being pro-life. I can't understand opposing same-sex marriage. And I most certainly, and this kind of segues into what I've been speaking about in the last few weeks, can understand a ban on a religion or people of a religion from entering this country. It will never make sense to me. They can argue that, as they've been doing for days, months, weeks. And I know I have that a little backwards. And it still will never make sense to me. It doesn't add up. Why would you ban a religion? It's one of the things that just really, and the idea that person with that concept has a very high chance of being elected to the highest office in the land is very disturbing and very just horrible of American culture. I really am turned off by that idea. I can't for the life of me picture how anyone thinks that makes sense. And I've had people come to my videos and other types of material, and they'll always defend this policy. And even if they don't indicate that they support that policy, they'll always support Trump. And I'll keep bringing this up. I'll say, how can you support someone with that mentality? And oftentimes they'll have the same mentality. And that's just, I can't understand it, because if it was any other religion, if it was Catholicism, my religion, there would be an issue. There would be a major conflict. Let's say, throw somebody random out here, and I'll use a Democrat because people want to keep saying that biased against Republicans. Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, if he said, you know what, there was a Catholic who shot up a school last year, let's ban all Catholics, I guarantee you there would be a revolt. There would be a major issue. And people would riot and protest. And that would be the end of his political career. And it should be. It should be for Trump. But people seem to have a hard time realizing that there is humanity in this world. Maybe they're not capable of exercising it, but there is humanity in this world. I have it on this issue. And I'm not inclined to go and say I'm better than anybody, or I'm this and I'm that, because I understand I'm better than no one. But I also understand that my view on this issue is one of tolerance and acceptance of people for the way they are. And that's how I am on every issue. I'm never going to support any policy that I feel excludes people. Special accommodations, sure. But no, never, ever. This person has to leave. This person has to go. And especially, and this is what I'm really sticking with, people who don't commit crimes and are solely discriminated against because of race, religion, ethnic background. There's no justifiable reason to support a nonsense policy like that. And I can't fathom how this many people are in favor of it. Millions of people voting for a man with that idea, that mentality. And I'm not going to go and assail all of them because they can't all have seen that speech. They can't all know about that idea. That's the craziest thing in the world. You know, all I can say is I hope Cruz gets the nomination. If he doesn't, I hope Clinton or Sanders beats Trump. And if they don't, God help us, because we are sinking ourselves into mediocrity, and we're going back to a time that we've never really had in America, fascism. But it was in Nazi Germany. We're about to have that. So I'm really hoping we can overcome it. Have a good night.